Okay, then let's continue. So we are now having just a few things here left in ES301, and that I will now just do today. So we can actually continue, or I have something left on the geophysical side, and I have something left on the geothermal side, and then I have some words about biomineralization. So then we can just open in the geothermal stuff. So yeah, geothermal energy, that is something very important nowadays because it is a very clean and green energy. It is very sustainable and it is very powerful. So, and here in the South Pacific, it could be a very good energy resource, and you will see this then during our field trip, because I have decided that we are doing now our field trip not in Kandavo, because it is from the logistic too complicated and it is too less to see there. Therefore, we will do our field trip, the first 2 days we will spend here in the Viti Lego. We will go again to the Yabuna Creek, then you can see again the Gabros and the toner lines and the andesites and the diorites there. And then we will go on the next day, we will visit the Valdacola gold mine, yeah. But we will not go underground because first of all it is not nice. Second of all, I cannot bring all people underground. I mean, they are allowing only for 10 or 15. And I also don't know if they are still operating or not. So, but anyway, and then the following day we will take the ferry, and with the ferry we will then go to Vanua Level, yeah. And in Vanua Level there is quite a lot of things to see, And one thing which you will see in Vanua Level, these are all the hot springs. So, and especially those in the Sabu area, they are very, very powerful, yeah? So they have, when the water reaches the surface, I mean, I and Satan, we were there just 2 weeks ago, and we have visited all these hot springs. And those in the Sabu area, there the water, when it comes up to the surface, has already about 109 degrees Celsius, yeah? So, and if you have a temperature of 109 degrees Celsius on the Earth's surface, then it is actually the first good sign for the use of geothermal energy. So, because if it is already such a hot and high temperature at the Earth's surface, then you have not to drill so deep that you can extract much more hotter water. So, and this hot water can then be extracted, and then you can run turbines, yeah? Then you can run turbines, and therefore you can, and with this, you can then create electricity. And with this geothermal energy, geothermal power, you can create much more than only electricity. You can run a geothermal freezer, for example. I will tell you that during the field trip how this works. You can make, you can run the air conditioners. You can run salt water desalinization, yeah, that you can make from salt water, fresh water, and you can use it at the end then for warming up swimming pools and so on. So, and now we are going to the first slide. So that is such a huge geothermal energy power plant, and this one is made in New Zealand, I think so. Yes. So in New Zealand they have actually a lot of geothermal power plants. The first geothermal power plant that was made in the 50s, somewhere in Italy. They have, yeah, it is nowadays a worldwide, very important energy source. So next slide. So how does it work? I mean, the first thing what you have to check that is the where you have hot springs, yeah. So and then you have to check what's the temperature when the water reaches the surface. So then the next thing what you are measuring that is the pH. So because if the pH is very low, that means if the pH is very low, that means you have a high salinity. And if the pH is very low, then your water is very acid, and that is not that practical for running a geothermal power plant because the whole equipment becomes then rusty. Yeah? So that means you are looking for a hot spring with a high surface temperature, and you are looking for a hot spring where the water has a high pH. That means it is then a very basic, so and therefore your equipment will not become that much rusty. So you know you have to use actually 2 tubes. You have to make at least 2 drill holes. One where you're pumping down the water, or I mean you have not to pump it down, it will go down by itself. So and then another tube where the steam comes then up. So and then you have at the surface you have a turbine, and there through this turbine you have also you have also 2 circulation systems. One circulation system where the hot steam is in, and the other circulation system where you're heating up. Where you are heating up the other water which is running then through a turbine. So and if your pH is then too low, then your turbine, I mean these turbines are made up out of metals, so and then the turbine becomes then rusty. So then you are looking for a water which has a low calcium carbonate concentration or a low CO2 concentration, because that is if you have too much CO2 inside, then you will then mineralization will take place. You will produce then calcite, and then your drill holes will become closed. Yeah, because your calcite will then grow, and then your drill hole becomes then smaller and smaller because of the crystallization of calcite. So and now, I mean, to drill is actually the most expensive thing regarding geothermal power. And therefore you are looking for an area where you have, where you can reach or where you can access high water temperature in a very shallow depth that you do not have to, that you don't have to drill too deep. Here we have the 3 curves, yeah. On the x-axis we have the temperature, and then on the y-axis we have the depth in meters. So, and if you are looking for the 3 curves are these are just the different regions from geysers, and these are then actually hot springs. And for example, in curve B, you can then see if you have, if you are drilling there 500 meters, then you can expect in this depth a temperature of 250 degrees Celsius, and that is then quite high, yeah, because then it will just shoot up as steam, and then you can run these turbines, yeah. So and then the next thing is you have to go first to the field. I mean you are checking then all these hot springs, measuring the temperature at the surface, the pH, and all this stuff what I have already mentioned. So, but then you need to have a fracture, yeah. You need a fault or a fracture, because the steam has to become picked up somewhere, yeah. So, and in the Savu area, you will see it then. all these hot springs, they are lying, they are all running on a fault, yeah? So, and therefore it is very important that you are doing it before a very detailed field mapping study that you can estimate in which depth you can reach or you can catch up the fault, yeah? Or in the hot spring in the Nateva area where we also like to go, or where I will bring you there you have another hot spring. So, and there the water is, there the steam or the water is coming up along the joints, yeah? So, and these joints at this hot spring there, you can, they are reaching the surface and you can see them and then you can measure them, you know. You will do this then next year with Eleanor in the mapping course, yeah? I don't know who will do next year the mapping course, next semester. So, and then you have to make a detailed field mapping study that you can that you can make estimations where the joints and the faults are running, so that you can just drill exactly on the fault, so then that the steam can come up very easily, yeah? Because if you are just drilling next to the fault in a solid rock, then the steam has no chance to come up, yeah? So next slide, please. So how does it work? Here we have another picture. So, and here where we have the solid rock here at the bottom. So here you have the solid rock, and here you have the emplacement of a magma chamber, yeah? So, and I mean all these features which you will see then during the field trip in Vanuatu with all these hot springs, the heat comes or is produced by a magmatic underplate, yeah? And in Vanuatu the magmatic underplate is very close to the surface. So, and that is the big advantage from all these young islands here, yeah? Because if you are going to an old Archean crater, like in South Africa, there you will never find a hot spring, yeah? Because the crust is 2.9 or 3.3 billion years old. So, and then it is 400 kilometers thick, there is no heat source anymore, yeah? So that is now the big advantage for here from all the islands in the South Pacific, that you have very close to the Earth's surface, you have a magmatic underplate, and therefore you have this heat production. So, and then you have the heat transfer here through the hard rocks. So, and here you have, in this picture, you have a very porous, a very fractured rock, yeah? So, and in Vanuatu the cases, the steam is coming up through the faults and the joints, yeah? So you can have a very brittle rock system, like it is in this picture, a very brittle rock system, then the water will just, or the steam will just circulate through the rock if the rock is very brittle, yeah? So in Vanuatu the rock is not brittle, but there you have the faults and the joints, and there the steam is coming up, yeah? So you have always to look for something that the steam can come up. So because if there is no way for the steam to come up, then you cannot extract, and then you do not have the hot springs at the surface, yeah? And here, I mean, they just make a source, yeah? That is then just such a geothermal power plant, yeah? Next slide, please. So that works then like in an oven, yeah? You are creating here a fire in your oven, yeah? That is then here in this example, the fire in the oven, that is then in nature the magmatic underplate. Then you are warming up the heat, the air here, yeah? So, and then, I mean, you know this also from your calculation, what you have done in ES301, and I think in ES203 as well. You know, you have done these calculations with the kyanite, the andesite, and the silimanite, yeah? So, and I mean, that is for air or for water the same. I mean, You know by now the phase diagram of water, yeah? You have the three modifications. You have ice, you have water, and you have steam. So, and I mean the steam has a much higher volume, yeah? Because the entropy will then decrease, and then the steam has a much higher volume and a much lower density compared to water, and then it will rise up. So, and that is for the air the same. You are heating up the air, then the entropy becomes higher, and then you are blowing out the air through your chimney. Yeah? So, and here you can then extract around your oven the heat. Yeah? So most of you probably does not have at home an oven, because there is here in the South Pacific no reason to have an oven, yeah? So next slide. So here we have the locations, all the locations for the geothermal power plants, yeah? I mean, and that is everywhere where magma comes close to the Earth's surface, yeah? So I mean the whole Middle Ocean ridge. And for those of you who are doing also the ES303, you know now a lot about the Middle Ocean ridge basalts, yeah? There you have a huge heat extraction, yeah? But I mean, you cannot make on the ocean floor a geothermal power plant. I mean, one could make it, but it is just too expensive, yeah? So, but if you are looking here in Iceland, I mean, you know by now that it's just sitting on the Middle Ocean ridge. It is actually a part of the Middle Ocean ridge, but Iceland just pops out of the water. So when they are in Iceland, people making, or they are using a lot of geothermal energy there. So then you have the whole circum-Pacific ring of fire, yeah, here and here, yeah. So and we did just, on Friday in class, we have just talked about the circum-Pacific ring of fire. And there I told you at the circum-Pacific ring of fire, you have the situation that you are having a lot of earthquakes and a lot of volcanic eruption, etc. Yeah? But you have also a huge energy source, yeah, because that is a hot region. So and therefore you can use this for geothermal power. So and here I mean that is here we have the power plants in New Zealand. You see here in Australia, which is an old craton, there is not only one dot of a geothermal power plant, because it is just an old crust, yeah. So, but here we have the East African orogeny, yeah. We also discussed or talked about in ES303 about the East African orogeny, that is a rift system. There you have then also a more thin crust. And if you have thinning of crust, then magma will also come up very close to the Earth's surface. Magma will also come up very close to the Earth's surface, and therefore you can use this as an alternative power solution. Yeah. So because the big advantage from geothermal power is it is running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 12 months a year. So because I mean wind and solar is also very a very clean energy, but the problem with wind and solar is the wind is not always blowing and the sun is also not always shining, and therefore it cannot be used 24 hours around. Yes, 24 hours, yeah. So here we have the first geothermal power plant, and that was the one in Italy, in Larderello, yeah, Larderello, not spaghetti. So and that was in 1904, yeah, in 1904, yeah. So that is, they are using this now since more than 100 years, and they can produce from this power plant here, yeah, that is a huge one, 300 till 400 megawatt, yeah, 300 till 400 megawatt. So, and I'm having by my own, I'm doing also research on geothermal power, and therefore myself and Zetan, we went just 2 weeks ago to Manua Level because with a collaborator of mine from Australia, because we are planning to set up a power plant in the Sabu area. So, but now we are looking for an investor. So, but in the Sabu area, I mean Sabu uses electricity, and they need electricity of about 4 megawatt. 4 megawatt. This power plant, with this one, you can produce 300 to 400 megawatt. Yeah. So, and in the Sabu area, one can use this only if you are extracting the water just from the surface. You could produce 2 megawatt. Yeah. So, and if you are drilling then, and if you are going deeper and deeper, then you can produce easily the 4 megawatt what you need in this area there, yeah? So, next. So, that is now a geyser, yeah? I mean, that is now a huge fountain. And this one is in Iceland, yeah? So, and such geysers, they are indicator for hot springs. I mean, in the Sabu area, it is not such a fountain, yeah. In the Sabu area, it is maybe now like this, yeah. So, but that is enough, yeah. So, but you will also see when we are there during the field trip, everywhere at the whole coast in Sabu, yeah, at the beach we have to go there when low tide is, yeah. So, and then you can see that the steam is coming up along the whole beach, yeah? It is coming up along the whole beach, and it is also, I mean, you have then also to measure the flow rate, yeah? So, and the flow rate, one have to measure, for example, how long it will take to fill up a 10-liter bucket of water, yeah? So, because then you can calculate how much you can extract, yeah. So, and that is then at the surface. I mean, if you are going down, if you are drilling a hole of 500 meters or 400 meters, exactly on the fault, yeah, then you can extrapolate this, and then you will get a much higher flow rate, yeah. So, because I mean the steam should come up by itself, yeah. Otherwise, you need a pump, yeah. So, and if you need a pump, then you need a part of the energy only for running the pump. Yep, next slide. So, where is this now? That is in Hawaii, yeah? So, and that is, you know, this geothermal power plants, I mean, that is the old one. There is now no date written, but it doesn't matter. You can see it on this car. It's an old-fashioned car, yeah, it's maybe 40 years ago, something like this. So, and this guy is maybe now also a little bit older. So, and these power plants are actually not big. You know, if you are for the Sabu area, such a power plant is not bigger than a one family house. Yeah. So it's not a big thing like if you are burning coal, or if you are burning oil, or if you have a nuclear power plant or whatever. No, that is a very small thing. That is just a house, and from outside you cannot distinguish if there is somebody living or if there is a power plant. Yeah. So, and here we have now a big one. I mean, that is now such a big one with 4 cooling towers. So, and then you have you need 2 holes. Yeah. So, through the first hole, you are pumping the water down, yeah. You have not to pump it, you are just using the water and throwing it down, yeah. Then it will circulate at the ground here in this field, yeah. That is now in the depth of, in this case, in the depth of 300 kilometers, and you have a temperature ranging here between 160 and 220 degrees Celsius, yeah. So, and then the water is circulating here. Then you are making steam out of your water, yeah, of course. If you have this such a high temperature, you are making here steam, and then the steam will rise up, and then you can run turbines. That is the whole thing behind, yeah. So, and then while you are cooling down the water, then you can use this water for different aspects. I mean, at first you are running with the steam turbines, yeah? So then the next thing is, and that we are planning to set up in the Natebe area, Nateba, yeah? Yes, area. There we are planning to build a geothermal freezer. So in the geothermal freezer, that is like a fridge. So because after you have run the turbines, I mean, then the water will not have again 160 degrees Celsius, then it is maybe 100 degrees, yeah? So and then the water will cool down, yeah? So and then you can use this cooling down process for running other things, yeah? For example, if the water cools down from 100 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius, then it cools down 40 degrees, yeah? So with this 40 degree while it is cooling down, then you can cool down another liquid, yeah? So for example, you can then cool down ammonia, yeah? So you are cooling down the water about 40 degrees Celsius. So and the ammonia has another freezing point compared to water, yeah? So and then while you are cooling down the water about this 40 degrees Celsius, then the ammoniac will go down beneath, and then the ammoniac will become frozen, yeah? Because the ammoniac has another freezing point. So with the frozen ammoniac, it's not a frozen ammoniac, but the ammoniac will have then beneath 0 degrees Celsius, yeah? You are cooling down the water, and with this cooling down process, you are cooling down the ammonia. So when the water will cool down, let us say 40 degrees Celsius or 30, then you are cooling down the ammoniac also 40 or 30 degrees Celsius, yeah? So when the ammoniac has then below 0 degrees Celsius, because the ammoniac has different freezing points. So when this cold ammoniac, you can then freeze water, and then you can have ice cubes, yeah? And then you can throw these ice cubes in your Coke. Now that was not the idea in the Nateba area. Then our idea for the Nateba area is that they can use this as a fridge. So because then they can take these ice cubes, throwing these ice cubes in their nesties, so and then the fish or the meat or so on will not go bad. Yeah? Because in this area they do not have electricity. So and then you can, the next step what you can do, you can use this 60 degree hot water. With a 60 degree hot water, you can warm up the seawater, also on 60 degrees, yeah? Just with a heat exchanger, yeah? So and if the seawater has more as 60 degrees Celsius, then you can get rid of the salt. So and then you can make from your seawater or salt water, you can make fresh water. So in the next thing what you can do, if you are like to grow fishes, yeah, for example, you are running a fish farm, or you like to run a fish farm in a freshwater fish farm, then you have to decide which fishes you like to grow, which fishes or which type of fishes you like to grow. So and therefore you are growing such fishes which are very tasty, because you like to sell it to the hotels, yeah? So, but if you like to run a successful fish farm, then the fishes has to be on a certain temperature, the water has to be on a certain temperature, let us say maybe 32 degrees Celsius, yeah? So, and then you can keep this cool down water from the geothermal power plant. You can keep a fresh water, by say, always on the same temperature. Yeah? That is good for fish farming, and at the end you can use it for warming up the swimming pools or whatever you like to do. So and then for offices and so on, through the heat exchanger, you can then also run air cons. Yeah? That works then in the same way as the geothermal freezer. Yeah? So but with the aircon, you will not produce ice cubes, you will just cool down your office. So in here we have now, that is now all the things for the background. So in here we have the Old Faithful, yeah, the Old Faithful is a very famous case here, and it is located in the where is it, in the Yellowstone National Park, yeah. And the Old Faithful has, I mean, that is all cooking water which is coming out here. And it is erupting every 20 minutes, and this fountain is about up to 50 meters high. So, yeah, next slide. So that is now the same thing, just in color. So, and that is, where is this? That is also in the Yellowstone National Park. You can see here how big the fountain is, yeah? I mean, you have here all these people as a scale, yeah? So, yeah. So that was so far everything what I have to tell about the geothermal energy. Now we have another slide here. What is this? Yes, that is Mount St. Helens. Yeah, that is Mount St. Helens. And that is, this picture was taken 1969, yeah? So here you see an Indian, yeah, you know this? Oh, yeah? So he is there around with his boat and he lost his feathers. So, and that is the Mount St. Helens, and that was before the eruption. And you can see here very nicely that Mount St. Helens is covered with snow, yeah? And I told you in class, or Satan showed you last week a video, so and there you should now, that is very important for the examination. I'm not sure if I put in this question now or not, yeah? So you will see it then when you are writing the examination, but if the question is inside, then maybe it could be, why was Mount St. Helens so explosive, yeah? So, and you know this by now because I'm telling it again and again and again. It was so explosive because the melt comes very close to the surface, and then all the ice and the snow becomes molten, and then you are creating steam, and then you have a phreatomagmatic eruption. So, and the phreatomagmatic eruption is very explosive, because you are creating very fast, and immediately you are creating steam, and then the whole mountain was blowing away. So it was in 1969 2,950 meters high. So now we can see in the next slide how it looks afterwards. Yeah. So that is then Mount St. Helens after the eruption in 1982. So and there it is no longer 2,940 meter high, now it is 2,549 meter high. That means 400 meter has, the upper 400 meter has just blown away, yeah? So, and you know the Indian is also not longer around, yeah? So, yeah, next slide. What is this? These are just, that is also Mount St. Helens, yeah, that is the, all these ash flows. So here we have another nice slide, that is Mauna Loa, yeah? So, and that is actually molten magma when it runs down the hill, yeah? So, and that is, this picture was made in 1984, you know, from the ES301 class, that Mauna Loa is now the active volcano from the Hawaiian chain. So, and I mean, these things are actually not that dangerous like the ash flows, because this, the magma is not that fast, And if you are not going that close, then it is not that dangerous. But if an ash flow comes, then you have no chance to escape. Yep. So that is through the night at Mauna Loa eruption in 1984. So, and you can see here everywhere around, you have your magma flow. So that is also something very, very nice. That is in Kilauea. So in there you have just a lava fontaine. So in this lava fontaine was working actually a few hours long. So that is now also in Kilauea, and there you know at a lot of volcanoes they are very stinky, they are smelling after sulfur, yeah? So and you will also discover this when we are on the field trip. If you are checking the hot springs, and we will go there in the northern part of, you know, very close to Lambasa, they are also very stinky, and that is because of the sulfur, yeah? So, and if you are looking at volcanoes, then you have, or you will find a lot of sulfur sheets, like here, and that is because of the sulfur which is produced by the emplacement of a magma chamber somewhere, and the sulfur will just become transported to the surface. That is again a picture from the lava flow or lava sea at Hale Mau Mau in 1961. That is also in Hawaii. What do we have here? That is just a crater sea, yeah? A crater lake. So, and I mean, if you are forming a volcano, then you are forming your crater, and then you will have, then after the crater is filled up with water, then you will have a crater sea. So, and what is this now? What is this now? So what do you think is this? Yeah, these are bones, yeah. So, but what for an animal do you think? Or is it a human? So that is actually, yeah, that is now the big advantage when I'm making the description in German, then you cannot read it, yeah? But at least I can read it, otherwise I cannot read it. So this picture was taken in Zaire, yeah? In Zaire in 1977. So, and what for animals, what is a very famous animal in Zaire? If I would be a racist, then I would say now a nigger. So what can you see here? That was the nose from an elephant. Yeah, but in the nose, I think in the nose of an elephant you do not have bones, yeah? So in the nose, or I don't know how it is called in English, this nose. Huh? The what? Trunk. Ah, okay, the trunk. So, and that is the bones from the elephant, yeah, and the lava was faster than the elephant, yeah. So, or the elephant was just disturbed by himself, yeah. So that he was not running away. So and these are now the bones from the elephant, yeah, and then they found it, and here we can see also the negative from the trunk. Yes, next slide. So what is this? That is in Rotorua. So and that is in New Zealand, and there you have everywhere that this is all crystallization, and that is all crystallization from different components which come up with the water to the surface, and then you can make such a nice picture. So now we have this. So what is this? That is a black smoker. So in black smokers you will find everywhere on the ocean floor, and these then are small circulation systems where the seawater goes inside in the oceanic crust, then it becomes heated up, and then you can observe these black smokers here. So these black smokers are actually not too big. Next slide. Okay, then we have this. So then we have this now. So yeah, then some words to the pearl farm, because I will bring you also in Sabu Sabu to the hunter's pearl farm. Yeah. So in pearls are actually organic material, and these pearls are growing inside the mussels. Yeah. Well, how does this animal? Oysters. Oysters. Yeah, oysters. So when they are growing inside the oysters, so when that is actually biomineralization, yeah, because the oyster itself is an animal, which is an animal, yeah. So but the pearl inside, which is growing inside, that is actually a mineral, yeah. So and these pearls are actually have a very high value, yeah. I mean, we will go there to the hunter's pearl farm, and if we are lucky, yeah, we should be able this time to go again to the pearl side. Last year we could not go to the pearl side because of Winston. So because then the jetty was blown away. So but now they have again the jetty, and they have this pearl farm there, and this pearl farm is very close to this small island, yeah. There's a small island across the beach in Sabu Sabu, which is now owned by an American, yeah. So and next to this island there is the oyster, the farm, and it works in such a way. I mean, oysters or pearl farming can only be done in very certain area, yeah. So in these pearls, they are all of different color. So these pearls in Sabu Sabu, they are grayish to greenish, is it? Yes. So but you can also have bluish one, pinkish one, and. But these pearls are coming then from other pearl farms, yeah? So it depends very strongly on the composition of the water. So because this pearl is growing inside the oyster, yeah? So if you are growing natural pearls, then it happens like follow. It happens that you have a sand grain inside the pearl, inside the oyster, and this sand grain is then always circulating inside the oyster, and then it's growing and growing and growing. So, but if you are growing pearls in an industrial way, then you are not waiting thousands of years till the sand grain comes in. They are just putting that small synthetic pearls inside, yeah? So they are opening the oysters, then they are putting this small grain inside. You will see it in Sabu Sabu, how they are making this. There are always two Japanese are coming, yeah, they have smaller hands, and then they are putting these grains inside. And then they are putting the oyster into the oyster farm, yeah, that is on the seaside. So, and then these oysters are growing. So, in these ones in the Sabu Sabu area, they have this greenish to a grayish color, because of a certain composition of the water. So, and that is because you have there everywhere these circulations from the hot spring, and you have it on the ocean floor, you have it everywhere. So, and in another area where the water is of another composition, you are growing other oysters, other pearls having another color. Yeah, it is the composition of the water. So in such a oyster, you can use 4 times to grow a pearl. Yeah. So after the 4 times, I don't know what they are doing for them. I mean, maybe they are going into the cooking pot, or I don't know what they are doing. So, but that is so far now to the pearl farm. Yeah, I mean that is that you can just grow these pearls in a certain area where the water has a certain composition and where the water has also a certain temperature. Yeah. So, and how it works then exactly, how they are doing this at the pearl farm, they will tell it you when you are there at Hunters. Yeah. So, and now I will tell you now something about the geophysics, and then we are done. So therefore we are open now, Sommer and Gowland. Now we are opening the other one, that's better. Yes, this one. So then we are making it bigger. I think I showed you this before, but it does not matter, then you are seeing it today again. So this is now some geophysical aspects. If you are scrolling down and down and down, yes, here we go. So these are I have used there just data which has been, the measurement has been done by somebody else. So that has been done by Susan Wanderley, and Susan Wanderley is a Dutch woman, and she is working now somewhere in the States, I think so. And she has done, she put everywhere over the North American continent, she put everywhere these seismic stations. So, and then they measured the P wave, the speed of the P waves, and the S waves. So, and there is you have all that you know from ES301. In ES301, I did it. I think I did it with you or Eleanor. It does not matter because she is using the same course material. There you have also this chapter about geophysics. Yeah. So in this chapter, there is written what are the P waves are and the S waves. Yeah. And the surface waves. So you have for certain rock types, a certain rock type shows certain velocities of P waves and S waves. So and that has been done in the lab by making experiments. Yeah. So and then you can use an airsolite, you can use a granite, whatever you want. So and then you can do this experiment. And then you have a certain speed of the S waves and a certain speed of the P waves. So and the P waves are the primary waves and the S waves are the secondary waves. So when the P waves, they are faster, they have a speed of about 8.6 kilometers per second, yeah? And I think the S waves about 4.5, yeah? So, and that is now the standard. That is now the standard for the normally dry rock. So, but if we have somewhere melt in the underground, like it is here everywhere, yeah, here you have beneath the oceanic crust here, or the continental crust, yeah, because here we are talking meanwhile about the microcontinent, yeah, because you have here, and you will see this also on the first day of our field, you will see then, or we will go again to Yabuma Creek, and there you will see that we have this todolites. Yeah, todolite is a granitic rock. Yeah. So in a granitic rock, there is a sign for formation of new continental crust. Yeah. So and therefore one is talking here about the formation of a new microcontinent. Yeah. So it is not only always this discussion that here some islands are disappearing. On the other hand, we are forming also new islands. Yeah, like this Tonga in Tonga. Yeah, that is Huya Tonga or something like this. Yeah, there's this new island which is just popping out of the water. Yeah, that is in Tonga. Yeah. So, and I mean, the Vitilevu was coming out of the water. How old these limestones are here? 49. Yeah, and I 40. Yeah, because the Cabro I mean, the oceanic crust here, that is 45 million years or 47. Yeah, because that I know because I have taken it. So, and the limestones are about 40 million years, and that means these are the 40 million years when the island when Vitilevu came out of the water. Yeah. So, and for example, Polo is much younger. The other andesites, say, are only 1.2 million years. Yeah. And we were last week in Kanabu, and in Kanabu there's Mount Washington, the oldest rock unit of Mount Washington, that is about it's much younger. It's 2,200 years old. Yeah. So, but anyway, if you have melt close to the surface, and you are doing geophysical measurements, then you will get anomalies. Yeah. So because the waves are becoming slower if there is melt. Yeah. So you can have melt in the underground and the waves becoming slower, or you can have a very hydrated or a lot of hydrates minerals there. Then the S waves are becoming also slower. Yeah. So if you have a very, very dry crust, yeah, then the S waves becoming faster. So and that is the thing what you are measuring. Yeah. So you are interested in the anomalies, yeah, because of a normal continental crustal rock, granite, you have the S waves, and that is about 4.6 kilometers per second. So and now we are calculating the anomaly, and the anomaly we are measuring in meters per second, yeah. So here we are sitting at the depth here at Moho, yeah. So that is the Colorado Plateau, because the paper deals about rocks from the Colorado Plateau. So, at Moho depth we have here, it is slightly positive, we have here an S velocity anomaly of about 44 meters per second. So that means we have a positive anomaly, yeah? So, and that means then that at Moho depth, and Moho depth, you know, on the continental side, it is an average in a depth of about 30 kilometers, yeah? In the oceanic side, it is more in the depth, and Moho is in the depth of about 3 kilometers, because the oceanic crust is much more thin compared to the average continental crust. So, and then you have a positive anomaly if it is a very dry rock. So now we are going in a depth here of about 70 kilometers. So then we are getting here this orange. So and there we get now a negative S wave velocity of about minus 350 meter per second. Yeah, I mean the standard is measured. The normal standard at this depth or in this rock is maybe 4.6 kilometers per second. Yeah, kilometers per second. So now we have an anomaly of minus 350 meters per second. So that means the speed of the wave, the velocity which you have measured in this step, is now not 4.6 kilometers per second, it is 4.3 kilometers per second. Yeah? And then you have an anomaly, you have a negative anomaly. So in the negative anomaly, that is then always if you are getting slower S waves. So in the positive anomaly, that is if you are getting faster S waves. So now we are going to slide to C. Here we have C, and then we have here 300 meters per second. Yeah, 300 meters per second. Then the anomaly is still there, but it becomes faster. So in the depth of 70 kilometers, we have then more melt or more water. Yeah. Then we are going to a depth of 110 meters, 110 kilometers. There we have then the S-wave velocity. It's still about still negative and about minus 300. Then we are going to E. So and now we have here minus 250 in a depth of 130 kilometers. And here we are getting now slower. At the depth of 150 kilometers, we have then only minus 100 S-wave velocity of minus 100 meter per second. So that means in this area we have then more a solid, again more a more solid drop, or that is now the depth where we are tracing out. For example, there, I mean, here you have a subduction zone, yeah? It dips in from here to here. So, and that is then maybe the depth in which you are tracing, or which you can trace out the subducting slab. So, and beneath, above the subducting slab, and beneath the subcontinental mantle, you have then the mantle wedge. So, and in the the mantle wedge, and in the mantle wedge you have then a more ductile material, and in this case I have interpreted it that you have there a hydrous fluid component. Yeah. So if you just go into the next slide. No, that we don't need, I think I showed this to you before. Here I only would like to show, again the difference between the S waves and the P waves. Yeah. So and here I mean I found out that you have there a very hydrous component. Yeah, we did it in class. I showed you these figures when we are talking about the fluid flow through rocks, yeah, and there I showed you the interconnected network of fluid within a rock. If you have the the angle here between the triple junction, if this is smaller than 60 degrees, yeah, I showed you this. So then we have a high fluid flow, an interconnected network of fluid. So and therefore you are getting then also an anomaly, anomaly of the S waves. Yes, that was the thing. So and then here in a depth of 150 kilometers, we got a lower S-wave velocity anomalies. That means we must be somewhere again in a solid material, and I interpreted this as the remnants of a subducting slab. So and here we have the hydration of the subcontinental mantle. So because there we have measured, or I showed you in the maps, that we have there a high S-wave velocity. Yeah. So, but now you should know again what the difference is between the P and the S waves that you know from ES301, and you should know now what you are measuring regarding the S-wave anomalies. Yeah, you are using this to figure out if there is some material beneath, like a remnant of a slab. So, or if you have a magmatic underplate, yeah, that would be very interesting to do this here in all these islands. Yeah, I have there somebody from Houston, and he would like to settle up seismic stations here in the South Pacific. Then we could trace out where we have everywhere melt bodies. I mean, you must have here everywhere magmatic underplates, because otherwise you would not have all these hot springs. Yeah. So and so, one thing is fitting to the other thing. So and now we are actually through with ES301. So, and I told you also on Friday, I mean, you should give me a date shortly before the examination is, yeah? On which day is the ES301? And what date is it? May 29. So then we should, then I mean shortly before the examination, that is actually next week. Yeah? So and then you should just give me a date when we can meet us 2 hours, and then we can just discuss all the questions from the tests. Just shortly before. So let us meet next Friday. Let us meet next Friday for discussion of all the questions from the test. Let us say next Friday at 3. So when we have normally the ES303. Yeah. Yes, and at that time you can hand in the test 2 to me. Yeah. Yeah. So and then we will discuss all the questions. So until next Friday, you are studying now the topics for ES301. So and then you are going through all these questions on the 2 tests. Very, very detailed, yeah? Through all of them. So and I can give you by next Friday the correct answers. So and then you should just keep everything during the weekend here inside. Yes. And then on Monday you are just spitting it out. Yeah. So and then you should also now complete your evaluation form. Yeah. And I will not receive shit, yeah, because otherwise the next year class will suffer. So and then for the practical, how far are you with the practicals? Yeah, these reports we can then discuss in the field, yeah. The reports. They can just bring the reports to the field, yeah. So and then we can discuss this. You know, with the field trip, the thing is, because last year some people were complaining that the field trip should be within the semester, yeah. So, but actually I planned to have it within the semester, but then you told me that you have tests. So and during the midterm break you have also clashes, and I had clashes, yeah. So and therefore we are doing it after the exam, yeah. So because I had no other choice. But for me it is good to have it after the exam, because then I know what you have done, and they say only for those who can on Monday not repeat what I told you on Friday, yeah? Or for those who not coming to class. So, and then I can just check you again in the field and giving more points, yeah? Because I do not like to see you again. Not because I'm hating you, it is just I would like not to see you again in class. So, and then for Thursday's practicals, I mean we can watch a movie. If you like, yeah. So we can maybe watch Dante Speak, or we can watch Jurassic Park. Yes? Yeah, okay, then Satan will find for you Jurassic Park, yeah? Ah, yes, yes. That is the Randy Taman's woman, yeah. It's not Jurassic Park.